Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. Welcome to 0 to 60. Happy Friday to everybody out there. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. We got a lot to talk about here today. So let's talk about it. Let's roll, B.
It's going to be a great show here on this beautiful Friday, Big Matt. And this show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. BetOnline is you cover with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, how are you doing on this beautiful Friday?
Good, man. Ready to get rolling. So, another good week in the books. And, let's go.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great show here. News is kind of slow on the Colorado Buffaloes front here, but we're going to be here talking all things NFL schedule release, the Colts schedule release video that I know Matt's going to just love. We're also going to talk the Caleb Williams saga. Caleb Williams versus the Chicago Bears. ESPN senior writer put out what I'm going to call a hit piece, so to speak, talking about Caleb Williams and the Bears, talking about his upcoming book. And Matt, I know you're going to have a lot to say about that. We're also going to talk about Lamar Jackson's acting debut. For those who are fans of the show Power on the network Stars here, Lamar Jackson made his acting debut on the Stars show Raising Kanan. So we're going to discuss that and so much more. Matt, without further ado, NFL schedule release was on Wednesday here, and so full schedules are out for all NFL teams here. And these schedule release videos have been quite the talk of the town here, so to speak, across NFL social media here. And I figured we take the time to react to some of the funniest ones, Matt. And this is going to be pretty entertaining here. We're going to start with your Denver Broncos here, who put out quite the interesting schedule release video. I can't wait for us to react to it. Take a look, Matt.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's The Uniquely Broncos main event is about to begin. We've got 14 challengers stepping into the arena to test their skills. Who is going to hang on to become this year's mutton-busting champion? We are fixing to find out. It's a tomahawk block. That is what you call a poker face plant. They are going to need a recharge after that.
Matt, I'm not country by any means. I don't know nothing about this. Do you know anything about the sheep riding thing? This is the thing that people do?
Yeah, Bronco busting, bro. I guess this is a way to introduce your schedule. That schedule release has become something other than just reading a piece of paper, so that's cool. I don't know, man. We're sacrificing children on sheep to get a schedule release. That's pretty interesting, to say the least. I don't know. I think it's kind of fucking ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Well, there's the Denver Broncos, Matt, your Denver Broncos. Before we move on to the Colts schedule release video, which has taken the internet by storm here, and I think is actually pretty entertaining. Matt, how do you feel about the Broncos in the AFC West this season, competing with the Chiefs, Queendom? You got the Raiders, who I think are going to be definitely formidable with Pete Carroll at the helm here, and then the Chargers coming off a 12-win season, who I think are just reloading. Got Marion Hampton at the running back position, who I think is a dog. How do you feel about the Broncos in the division? Kind of early prediction, so to speak.
Look, it's hard to just make a determination based on a schedule.
That's true.
You need to get guys in the camp and see who's fitting where and who's playing what and injuries and just the way the season rolls out. But I like their schedule. I mean, they got a couple hard stretches. The Bengals on Monday night, short week going to Philly, and then going to London. That 3-game stretch is going to be tough, but they have to play you too. So Denver, I think, has a very good opportunity to be one of the 3 teams that could potentially dethrone the Chiefs. Now, everybody, it's like the hot talking point right now is everyone thinks that the Chiefs are going to stumble and they're not going to be as good and blah, blah, blah. I've heard that before. I ain't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard it, but I haven't seen it. So until I see it, until I see them not win the West, until I see them not host playoff games, I don't know if I can get behind it. So I think it's going to take a lot more than just talk to dethrone the Chiefs. So I guess we'll see. But somebody's got to play better than Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have a great year last year, but he still had a better year than the other 3 quarterbacks in the division. So,
true.
It's going to be it's a lot bigger than just trying to dethrone the Chiefs. You got to outcoach Andy Reid, you got to outplay Patrick Mahomes, and you got to find a way to be. Some would say Denver's defense was better than Kansas City's, but Kansas City's the defense that's winning playoff games and going to the Super Bowl. So I don't know. But the Broncos, the NFL, and the way you can talk about the NFL is different than the way you can talk about college football. People get super emotional about college football, but I think people understand that and the NFL is business. So the Broncos need to put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, if anything, the AFC West is going to be competitive. I think it was competitive last year. And then you had Pete Carroll, the rebuilding Raiders here, so to speak. I think the Raiders are going to be a team to watch in that division. Bo Nix is going to be interesting. Can he take a step up from his strong rookie season, or is he going to have a sophomore slump? I think it will probably be a real looking at Bo Nix. I think defenses and coordinators across the NFL are going to really try to scheme him. You may see a step back from Bo Nix, but I think the additions the Broncos got in the run game and Broncos step up in the run game will make up for it, so to speak. But I think that division definitely going to be competitive and probably the best division in the AFC. Now let's move forward here now onto the infamous Indianapolis Colts schedule release video that has taken the internet by storm here, so to speak. The Colts had to issue an apology for this video that we'll talk about after this, Matt. But take a listen to this and take a look.
For what?
So stupid. So it starts off, this is what they had to apologize for. You got a Coast Guard, seemingly going to arrest Tyreek Hill. And this was ironic due to Tyreek Hill's situation before I think the Dolphins and the Jags game last season here.
So they have to apologize because Tyreek Hill can't stop getting arrested.
So the Colts released an apology for that part of it, saying we removed our schedule release video because it exceeded our rights with Microsoft and included an insensitive clip involving Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. We sincerely apologize to Microsoft and Tyreek. Now, Matt, Tyreek actually responded to this on Twitter here, saying, should have left it up, Colts. This was funny. And I agree with Tyreek. I thought it was hilarious. And I'm glad he has a sense of humor about it, but I thought it was funny that Colts had to apologize for it too. I think other teams and schedule release videos, I don't know if they went at players like they did with this, but I thought this was clever, to say the least. Matt, your thoughts on the apology and Tyreek and all this?
First of all, fuck apologizing. Unless this is not apology worthy, okay? This is facts. Tyreek Hill gets arrested a lot. I'm not saying he gets convicted a lot, but he does get arrested a lot. So I don't want to hear like he doesn't, like this didn't happen. I don't know why the Colts are specifically going after him like he's the only guy that gets arrested in the NFL, but it is true. So I don't know. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it. He thought it was funny. It is funny. So, fuck, man. I thought schedule release was supposed to be like loose and funny and everybody doing dumb shit in order to release the schedule. So, not surprising that the soft ass generation we live in, somebody wrote an email and forced somebody to fucking apologize.
Doesn't surprise me by any means either, Matt. Let's continue to watch the Colts schedule release video because I thought theirs was really creative, especially as you get into the later parts of it, Matt. Take a look. Your Broncos. So that one was the bus hitting Will Levis.
He ain't playing.
Yep.
What the fuck are they talking about? They just drafted Cam Ward. Will Levis ain't playing. Which one is this? Well, such a Minecraft parody.
So here you got, I don't know if you remember this, Matt, but at the NFL drafts, there was a reported incident so Jordan Schultz published a thing about Matthew Stafford going and visiting Aaron Rodgers up at a cabin in the mountains. And then Ian Rappaport posted a report that it wasn't true. And then they reportedly had an altercation at a Starbucks at the NFL draft here, Matt. And so they showed this.
So they had to take all this down because of
the Tyreek, yes.
Well, they said they had a conflict with Microsoft.
I don't believe that. That's what they said. I don't really believe
Well, I mean, they're obviously mimicking Minecraft, so did they get permission to mimic Minecraft?
That's a good question. I never thought of that, Matt. And maybe that's a good excuse for them to say. Because they say excluded or exceeded our rights with Microsoft, and then they talk about the clip with Tyreek. But that's
well, then I'm sure Minecraft
just loves it,
which is released by Microsoft, said that you don't have the right to do this. So
it's a great point.
It is what it is, but it's shit, dude. And the schedule releases. I just look at the fucking schedule and go, "Oh, look, the schedule's out." I don't understand this part of football. Like, this is just the fucking Uber nerds that work for the team need something to do. So let's turn them loose on the schedule release, and they'll come up with something like fucking ridiculous. These people for the Colts have way too much time on their hands.
Shout out to the social media team over in Indianapolis. You got Kyler Murray here as a fucking riding on a chicken or whatever, as a midget, baby, whatever. It's
baby zombie on a chicken. Come on, you got to get you're supposed to know Minecraft happened in your generation, and I know more about this than you do. You don't know shit about fuck, man. You don't know shit about goddamn pop culture at all.
Just wait. So let's get over. Just wait for the Chiefs one here, Matt, because I think you're going to really like this. I don't know if you remember the situation with Patrick Mahomes Sr. and John Rocker in New Orleans, the altercation on the strip, so to speak, down there, Matt. But let me see if we can skip ahead to it. It's after this. So you got Mahomes Sr. versus John Rocker, and then if you wait,
I wish this would have happened.
Me too. I thought Dave Portnoy was putting this on. I guess it fell through here because Dave Portnoy was like, "Yeah, we got confirmation back in like January." But then you got Mahomes. I don't know if you remember the Raiders. They did the thing with the Kermit the Frog hanging up Mahomes or whatever. So you got Mahomes as Kermit, and then you got Mahomes Sr. and John Rocker. Interesting schedule release video from the Indianapolis Colts, Matt.
Way too much fucking time on their hands, bro.
I can't believe they had an issue apology over it. Even Tyreek liked it too. Crazy. The final one will show, and I thought this was a creative one from the Carolina Panthers schedule release here. Matt, take a look here.
Man, I appreciate y'all coming in for the secret reveal meeting. Coach told me to bring some of y'all boys in, so let's get right to the reveal.
Say, B-Rob, man, hey, I appreciate you calling the meeting, man, when I got a secret I've been meaning to tell y'all.
Was that English?
This ain't my real voice.
This is how I really talk. When I was younger, I knew I wanted to be an American football player, so I thought having a southern accent would make people think I was tough. But the truth is, I love the finer things in life. I love fine wines and artisan cheeses. I curate works of art from around the world. And of
That's
course,
raccoon blood.
appreciate a little light
It's
reading.
raccoon.
Is he serious? He wasn't always wearing that, was he?
Okay, thanks, XL. We appreciate that. But let's get back to the reveal.
Actually, Rob, I got something to get out too.
So in the off season, I work as a volunteer sheriff deputy. Last month, I set the record for most seatbelt citations. Sir, you know where I pulled you over today? Seatbelt, 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 seatbelt. Sir, you know where I pulled you over today?
JC, bro, it's me, JT. What's up?
Seatbelt.
I ain't gonna lie, twin. I'm not taking this ticket. I ain't left the stadium yet. I'm still in the whip. What's up?
Nah, brother. I'm gonna need this one overturned, though.
Wow. Matt, there you have
So
it.
who do they play?
Oh, that's a great question, Matt. If you
Who
wait,
the fuck do they play? That was supposed to be a schedule release. It was just.
oh, there's way
stupid
more,
as
Matt.
shit.
There's way more in the skit. If you go to the
I don't
end,
want to watch anymore. I feel like I'm getting dumber watching this.
getting dumber watches. So if you wait to the end, Matt,
Then they release the fucking schedule.
there you go.
Guess what, Carolina? No one gives a shit. You're going to be terrible again.
You don't think they'll be improved? Speaking of the Panthers, Matt, it's on our thumbnail here, Matt.
You might win
Jimmy
7
Horn,
games, maybe.
Colorado Buffalo alum here, will be elite for the Panthers, Matt. I definitely think he's going to be elite. And let's talk about it here a little bit, Matt. Jimmy Horn's potential for the Panthers. There's been a lot of stories coming out in Panthers minicamp about Jimmy Horn's performance here really catching eyes. And reportedly was the best receiver in Panthers rookie minicamp, not T-Mac. Matt, what are your thoughts about Jimmy Horn's potential for the Carolina Panthers this season?
I think he has great potential. He's a hell of a player, but again, it's rookie minicamp, so I don't know. Like I'm not gonna get too freaked out about rookie. Bryce Young wasn't even throwing in the ball, so when he gets onto the field with the veterans, if he continues to progress at the rate he's progressing, and he does things the way he's doing it, then I think he could be a great player for them this year. But I mean, we got to see it. We got to see him through camp. We got to see him through OTAs. We got to see him through training camp and these games. You know, he's a 6th-round draft pick, which means he's going to be on the bubble for even making the team. It's just the way it works. So
Definitely.
he's going to have to contribute big time in special teams, and we'll see. But I mean, he was a good player at Colorado. I don't know how elite he was. I mean, that's getting thrown around here pretty routinely, but he's a good football player, and we'll see what happens in Carolina.
No, definitely. And, Matt, Panthers are on to their mini camp portion here where they got, the starters and the vets out there and stuff. And, read a couple stories about Jimmy Horn here. I'm really, really excited to see his potential for the Panthers if they use him the right way. And I think Dave Canales definitely drafted him in the intent to do that. Chat's asking about LeJohntay Wester. LeJohntay was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens 6th round and is up in Baltimore. Went through Ravens rookie minicamp. Eric DeCosta, the GM up there, said that they're going to use him in the return game as well. They got a pretty deep wide receiver room up there. But, LeJohntay is up with Lamar Jackson, who we're going to talk about here in a sec, Matt, and the Baltimore Ravens here to the chat. Shout out. Matt, let's talk about a big topic here that is really, taking social media by storm here. So the story, there's been crazy stories that have come out about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears and his draft process, so to speak here, Matt. ESPN senior NFL writer here, Seth Wickersham, put out a piece here and kind of promoting his upcoming book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. And Matt, there have been several, I'm going to say bombshell headlines here that I don't think Caleb's camp really expected to talk about here. So Matt, what are your thoughts on this whole situation before we really dive into it? Go ahead.
It's a bad look. This is a bad fucking look from a guy who Oh shit, man. I don't think that this is not productive. I mean, for everybody that's on Shador's ass and all these other quarterbacks' asses for being prima donnas and this and that and the other, how did this get missed? How did all this fucking back and forth and all this not wanting to be in Chicago, how did this all get washed underneath the fucking rug for an entire year? And everybody knew that this is where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, there's no fucking there's no mistake. They have never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of the franchise.
That's true.
So no one's acting like this isn't where quarterbacks go to die, but this is a really bad look. So I'll tell you, he better fucking win, because they are going to persecute his ass in Chicago if he doesn't. They're going to be on him quick. They're already on him. They're already mad about this, and they should be. This is a bad look. This is a bad fucking look. And this is, we always knew he was smug, and we always knew he had a fucking attitude, and he thinks he's better than everybody else. This is just another circumstance of him 100% being super smug and thinking he's better than everybody else. So this is a really, really bad look. And it's worse that his dad's involved, and they're trying to fucking see if they can go to the UFL for a year and then become a free agent. And just this makes him look like a total bitch, in my opinion, bro. Like he's trying to duck. He's trying to duck the pressure that comes with being the number 1 overall pick. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want the smoke. He does not want the smoke that comes with being the number 1 overall pick. You're going to a shitty franchise. And the Bears they weren't really a true number 1 pick. That was Carolina's pick. They had like an 8-win season the year before he got there. They got fucking worse on the team. They got worse when he got there. They didn't get better. They got worse. So hopefully he can read a playbook and he's not manicuring his nails or macrameing a pair of jean shorts or some shit. He seems like he could very, 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 very easily be a massive fucking bust.
Yeah, man. I mean, this season is make or break for Caleb. As we look at some of the things that come out, obviously the headline that Caleb considered signing with the UFL. Caleb's father, Carl Williams, saying, "I don't want my son playing for the Bears." Keep going here. The Ryan Poles obviously told him, "We're drafting you no matter what." Caleb said, "I need to go to the Vikings." These are all excerpts from Seth Wickersham's upcoming book. I'm going to talk about Seth Wickersham in a second, Matt. Caleb reportedly told his dad, "I can do it for this team. I'm going to the Bears." Matt, looking at who published this article, Seth Wickersham, I'm going to talk about Seth Wickersham tomorrow with Tank Johnson, who has a history of, I'm going to say, publishing hit pieces here, because I don't think anybody in Caleb Williams' camp expected this to come out. I don't think they would have wanted this to come out. I don't think they wanted any of the PR headlines that are coming with this right now, because yet again, it's offseason and more conversation about the Bears quarterback room when there shouldn't be here, Matt. Because I get this is not a great look for Caleb, but it's also, we got to look at who's writing it.
Well, yeah, but no one gives a shit about that. You and I might care. Tank might give a shit because he's got personal experience, and people can scream it from the mountaintops, but not one person other than you have I heard say, taking into account who wrote the article. It's just land blasting Caleb Williams.
Oh, I know, Matt. You see Boomer Sison's, talking.
You know what I'm saying? He is being fucking lambasted. And you know what?
Yeah.
Dog, look. If him and his dumbass dad didn't understand that Seth, Witchen shouldn't have fucking spoke around this guy, Stan. That guy.
Yes.
Yeah, Seth, I shouldn't have opened my fat mouth around this guy, Stan, that guy. If they didn't understand that this guy has this big of a history of being a hit piece writer and he's standing around you and trying to get information out of you in order to write a fucking hit piece, he's not trying to be your buddy. He's trying to put you on blast. Well, hey, dummy, again, who was in your corner telling you that this guy was okay to talk to? He got his information from someone.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't fucking know that the number 1 overall pick in the NFL wanted to go to the UFL to dodge the Bears. What? So what? Wait, you're telling me that you would rather not be the number 1 pick and go to the UFL just to dodge one team? Like in a great city like Chicago that's starving for a great quarterback and they've struggled at that position in the past. But again, are you trying to be the guy that changes things, or are you just another fucking guy getting a check who 5 years from now we're all going to look back and go, you remember that fucking softy was painting his nails and how much of a bitch this guy was, and he's crying in the stands, and I guess we should have read the tea leaves. Well, that guy, everyone knew that this is who this kid was. So this is my thing, and I'm going to take this back to Shedeur, because this is a perfect opportunity to defend somebody who's actually a football guy. Shedeur's a football guy. Shedeur's not out here fucking painting his nails and shit. He just likes to rap. He just likes a little bit of shine.
Yeah.
He's got a hobby or two. He's not out here opening up a nail salon trying to play fucking quarterback for the Browns. He's the kind of guy that spits blood through his $100,000 grill. He's not the kind of guy who fucking says, "Oh, don't hit me! You're gonna crack my $100,000 grill." Look at my nails. He's not running to his dad and crying after losses like Caleb did to his mommy.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I was just gonna bring that up.
So I'm telling you, dog, Caleb Williams is a prima donna. Absolute diva. So I take offense when people say Shedeur is. You cannot compare the two. Shedeur is a ball-playing son of a bitch who loves football, who is tough as fucking nails. If Caleb got hit like fucking Shedeur Sanders got hit with his time at Colorado, Caleb Williams would not be playing football anymore. So I'm telling you, you can already this is either going to he's either going to fucking absolutely fortify the walls and just lock himself in his fucking house and study tape. Again, also the part in there about Chicago not sitting down with him and watching film. Okay, that's on the Bears.
Yeah, that's on the old coaching staff. Yeah,
that's on the whole coaching staff. But it's also at the same time, professional football players and young professional football players, being an old, retired guy and having to deal with the young guys, have egos like you wouldn't imagine. They don't think they need to go to the film room and get better.
Right.
You have to force them into the film room, bro, especially if they work for you. They're not going to just do it on their own. No one's going to sit around and just admit what they don't know. And the majority, I don't care what any of you say, the majority of these guys don't know their asshole from a hole in the ground when they're doing film work. They know their position and what their job is. And then maybe as they get older, they start to learn the tricks of the trade and learn how to really watch film because, they've been in the meeting room for 7 or 8 years. But very, very, very rarely do people just walk into fucking the NFL knowing how to watch film. I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything about how to watch film or dissect stuff until I got moved to offense. Right. And I didn't have a choice. I was either learn everything in 2 weeks or get cut.
Yeah, and you had Bill Callahan as your O-line coach, right?
And Bill Callahan's my O-line coach, and he was not about to let me fail. So I don't think that there's a lot of guys that know how to watch film, and I don't think there's a lot of guys in the NFL that promote proper habits on how to build your Rolodex on how to watch film, where to start. I pride myself on being able to teach it pretty well, and there's about 1 million fucking videos of me teaching different schemes on film.
Right.
I don't think it's that hard, but again, it's not about just it's not about being able to the X's and O's and the ins and the outs. It's being able to say, I don't know. And there's so many cats, Garrett fucking T, Caleb Williams is one of them, that don't want to admit that they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams doesn't want to admit that he doesn't know, dog. He doesn't want to admit that he doesn't know. His whole game is built on improv and scrambling around and getting rid of the ball late, and you can't tackle him. He doesn't want to play within a system.
That's a great point, Matt. That's a really, really good point. And I mean, I haven't heard anybody in media talk about, maybe Caleb, that's a great perspective, Matt. I think it's really, really true. And,
maybe Chicago maybe Chicago knew they were going to get fired, tried to get him in the film room, and Caleb Williams acted like a little fucking bitch and threw a fit like he does about everything. And the coaches were like, fuck this. We're getting fired anyway. Let this kid figure it out on his own. And if you don't think that's a thing, bro, you have, I don't know where you've been, but the NFL is vindictive circle. If you screw somebody over in the league, or their perception is that you screwed someone over, they will hate you for the rest of your motherfucking life.
Yeah, and Matt, last July, I don't even think we're a year removed. Caleb walking into the Bears and, hearing the story about Caleb cleaning up the telling, fellow players and veterans to clean up the locker room and stuff. We're not even a year removed from that story, Matt. So unbelievable.
Well, look how much of a leader he is. He's telling them to pick up the trash. Be like, what? So he's rather intern to be a fucking trash man than a quarterback.
And Matt, here's another twist to the story here before we talk some Nuggets here. The sources from within the Bears organization last season have been completely perplexed at the allegation, and I'm going to talk to Tank Johnson about this tomorrow, at the allegation that coaches didn't watch film with Caleb Williams last season. One player said, we had film sessions often with our groups. Coach would send us home with film to review before the next day at practice. Maybe that's what Caleb Williams is talking about.
I don't think Caleb Williams, if you put Caleb Williams on the board and handed him a whiteboard marker and started spitting terms at him fast, I bet you he would shit all over himself and be like, oh, well, that's not the way we talked about it at SC. Well, we don't care. We're in Chicago now. It's not the way we talk about it in Chicago. All right, so what term applies to this term then? Because scheme stays the same, Caleb, but terms change. So what other excuse you want to give me on why the fuck you don't know what you're talking about?
Damn.
Because at some point, it's not on the fucking coaches anymore, guys. Stop blaming the coaches for everything. Stop blaming the coaches for everything. It's not on the coach all the time. This is the information age. In the information age, your ignorance is a fucking choice. And that goes for everything in life.
Facts.
You can find it. I can get on Google and fucking type in just about anything and learn how to do it here pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? I got a goddamn doomsday prepper book over here. Okay, if I need to learn how to fucking have renewable energy in the fucking water source, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm just saying, in the information age that we live in, ignorance is a choice, and that goes with quarterback play too. You could find somebody out there to teach you how to read a defense and fucking identify fronts and, find the mic point. I bet you he still thinks that means middle linebacker and really identify how to do things from a protection standpoint so you're not running with your head like a chicken with your head cut off. He could find somebody to help him with that. But that would require old fucking Caleb paint my nails. I wonder what his toenails are, when they're getting licked.
Wow, Matt.
Fuck him. I wonder why Caleb won't just say he doesn't know so he can know. Because after you say you don't know, guess what, bro? Then you can actually know. And then you can get better. And it can be something you overcame instead of what sinks you.
It's a great point, Matt. And I really hope, as Ben Johnson really implements, his system, his coaches, I expect to see a change in the Bears. I mean, if they don't, there's going to be a lot of heat coming in Caleb Williams, a lot more heat than he's getting right now. And he's getting a lot right now, Matt. Before we take a commercial, Matt, I want to talk some Denver Nuggets with you. Your Nuggets got a huge Game 7 tomorrow, and I can't wait to come back on Monday to see whether you're a happy Matt or an angry Matt based on how the Nuggets play on Saturday. But, Matt, talk about your Nuggets a little bit, getting to Game 7. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic about it, honestly. I thought Game 6 was needed. Michael Porter Jr. needs to fuck off. I'm tired of this guy. I'm so sick of his face. I don't know what to do with myself. If you're hurt with your non-shooting shoulder and you can't muster up more than fucking 2 or 3 points a game, you can't play. Aaron Gordon got hurt the other night, so I'm pretty worried about that for Game 7. The majority of the country doesn't seem to think the Nuggets have much of a chance in Game 7 in Oklahoma City. I disagree. I think the last 2 series, the Nuggets have gone 7. They lost 1. They won 1. They've got a lot. The only team other than Boston, and they're not the same team because Jason Tatum is done with the torn Achilles. All the other teams still fighting for the title don't have rings.
Yeah.
The Pacers don't have a fucking ring, although they're a pretty good team. The Knicks don't have rings. The Timberwolves don't have rings, and OKC doesn't have any rings. So the Nuggets need to fall back on this championship, pedigree and go fucking finish.
Yeah.
And they need to go win this game on Sunday at Oklahoma City. They were up in Game 4 and fucked it up. They were up in Game 5 and fucked it up. They closed out the other night, which was good to see. But I think if the Nuggets win Game 7 on Sunday, I think that they're, I don't think that they lose to Minnesota again this year the way they did last year.
Right.
I think the Nuggets win the title again. So with an intern coach and rotating 7, 6,
huge,
7.
Yeah.
And you win another title, and Nikola gets another Finals MVP with an intern head coach and rotating 6 or 7 guys. Hopefully, the Nuggets then become a destination spot because I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the superstars in the league to realize that, clipping their superstar, cape onto the Nuggets is a good thing. So I want Porter Jr. gone in his max contract. I want to go get a guy like Kevin Durant.
Right.
I remember sitting back in the day and be like, oh, how could Golden State go out and get all these players and add to the championship? Well, now I know why, because I want more championships. So,
yeah.
As long as Michael Porter Jr. doesn't completely fuck up everything, I think they can win on Sunday. But that guy, I fucking hate his face, dog. I hate everything about his game. Everything about his game. He plays bad defense. He's stiff as a board. He's supposed to be a good shooter. He's not. He's supposed to be able to high rise and dunk. He can't. He's got no fucking athleticism. He can't play defense. His whittle shoulder hurts. So he's got this shoulder pad taped onto his shoulder like somebody's going to contact him or something. He has to get a lidocaine shot.
Yeah, man, I know. Basketball player. I know, man. I know. And I got a chance. Michael Porter went to high school for his senior year in the state of Washington. I got a chance to watch him play multiple games at Nathan Hale High School. I thought, him and Jonte coming out were unbelievable players. They were supposed to be committed to go to Washington and play for Romar. Porter Sr. ended up going to Missouri, and the rest is history, Matt. But I feel where you're coming from when it comes to Michael Porter Jr. Let me ask you, your Nuggets, if they manage to win another championship here with an interim head coach, and you see Jokic kind of playing player coach here, Matt, so to speak, not that plays into his legacy, but if the Nuggets win another championship with an intern coach, how do you think that impacts Jokic, his legacy?
Well, I think coaching in the NBA is important, but it is the least important thing.
Yeah.
Like the Zen Master is a bad motherfucker. He also had Mike, Scotty, Dennis Rodman, Shaq, and Kobe, and all those Pau Gasol. He had dudes everywhere he went. So I don't know if Phil Jackson was just the greatest coach with elite players ever, or the greatest coach ever. I don't fucking know. Look, if they win a title with an intern head coach that got hired 3 days before the fucking season was over, yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. That's pretty crazy. And I'm looking at what's happening right now in the Western Conference and in basketball together, and it's sitting right in front of them.
Yeah, it
you
is.
go beat Oklahoma City, and you've got first 2 games at home in the Western Conference Finals, and you just lost to Minnesota last year. You blew a 20-point Game 7 fucking lead last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that the Nuggets are going to find a way to get to the finals if they can win on Sunday. So, dog, I'm praying that it happens. You know, with the way that the NBA rolls, I had somebody say the other day, like, well, shit, at this point, we should just trade Murray or Jokic so we can get the number 1 pick because fucking, you know, help them.
Cooper Flag, it's over. Like,
it's ridiculous. I mean, it's dumb, but at the same time, the Mavericks trade the superstar, they get the number 1 pick. The Pelicans trade a superstar, Anthony Davis, years ago, they get the number 1 pick. The fucking Cavaliers are terrible. LeBron's going to be at the top of the draft. They get the number 1 pick. Like, it's the Knicks are awful, and they've been bad for 15 years. And then Patrick Ewing's at the top of the draft. They get the number 1 pick. Like, do I think it's rigged? A little. Yeah, probably. And I don't have a problem with that necessarily. So, you know, it's a lot of people have been saying that they want the NFL to go to a lottery. I do not want the NFL to go to a lottery at all.
How do I feel about that? Yeah. I've never, I don't know if I've taken much thought into that either, but just hearing that for the first time, like, I don't know how I feel about it.
Just think about the top 12, 15 teams, or no, everybody that does make the playoffs.
I really don't like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like. I like the way the NFL is formatted now.
I like the way the NFL is formatted too. I don't think they need to put a lottery into it.
Yeah. Matt, I know how much you just love betting the NBA, and your Nuggets are 8-point underdogs tomorrow. Do you have any interest in that?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Nuggets money line tomorrow. I have to manifest this.
Manifest it. Plus 260. Yeah, there's some money there for sure, Matt. Well, I can't wait, to react on Monday here, after your Nuggets play versus the Thunder over the weekend, and we'll find out how they fare here, whether, they're headed to potentially another championship, Matt. Matt, let's move forward here. Here's a first look at the Colts' presumed starting quarterback, Daniel Jones. Matt, I know how much you love Anthony Richardson, but are you going to sit here? Is there 0-shot AR5 starts for the Colts, or are you giving them any shot?
If this guy's healthy, AR5 is not starting.
Makes it pretty easy then.
He's terrible.
Yeah. He has not played well at all.
He's fucking terrible. He's not just not playing well. He is god awful.
Should they move him to like a running back tight end or something? Is that where we're at?
Keep him on the roster for another year and cut his ass and let him go to the UFL.
Simple as put there. Well,
he ain't it, dog. I'm sorry, but everybody knew this coming out of Florida too. Like the people got enamored. This is what I'm talking about. Are you enamored with testing or are you enamored with quarterback play? Because it seems to me like Shedeur didn't do the testing and they forgot that he could play quarterback. But this guy did all the testing and they think he can play quarterback. And that's not the fucking way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. No, that's a great point. And
this kid goes 3rd overall and Shedeur goes 144. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy, Matt. And, enamored by the testing numbers, Matt. I don't know. Wow.
Let's go back and watch some film, okay, on Anthony Richardson at Georgia or at Florida and watch it how fucking terrible he was.
There are several games.
Terrible.
Yeah, we could talk about that all day, Matt. This next topic here, I can't show the video due to YouTube regulations here, but former NFL player Kenny Peterson here got into an altercation with somebody who spat at his car, and he handled it like us men who, if someone spat at our car, would probably handle it. And I commend him for the way he handled this. We can't really show this too much, Matt, but what are your thoughts?
Why can't you show it? It's all over social media.
Yeah, well, we can't show it because of fighting. But, Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
You can't show fighting on YouTube?
Nope. I'm not going to risk getting the platform. But, Matt, what are your thoughts on the situation? Go ahead.
Oh, so Kenny's one of my fucking really good friends, and we played together in Denver. I just saw him whipping this dude's ass, dog.
Give us your breakdown.
I've opened up Twitter, and Kenny is just beating the fuck out of this dude. This guy's hanging out of his car like he's half car, half person, like fucking like a Minotaur, but it's a fucking Civic.
Right.
And Kenny's just grabbing this dude by his face and just waka, just beating the fuck out of him. I mean, just absolutely pummeling this guy. And Kenny's huge. Kenny's as big as I am. So, and then he just kind of walks back to his car, gets back in his car, and drives off. Just another day in the valley. Don't spit on people's cars. Also, my advice to Kenny: don't do this again.
Oh no.
Because no offense, dog, I'm packing heat. So you walk up to my window like this, I ain't gonna fight you out of my car. I'm pulling my gun. So I'm glad that he's okay. I'm glad that he whipped this dude's ass, and I think it's kind of funny, but let's not do this again, KP. You're a large human being and a big target, and I love how calmly he walks back to his car.
Yeah.
He doesn't yell or scream or anything. He just gets back into his car. Everybody behind them are like this in the car, like, should I honk? And Deborah and the moms in the car like, don't fucking honk. Are you crazy? Did you see what he just did to the guy in front of us? Just let him get back in his car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do love how casually walk back to the car, but I didn't know you were I didn't know that was your teammate, Matt. That's wow. That's really.
What do you think? I'm just commenting like I know the guy, goddamn Kenny, like we're friends.
Yeah,
he is my fucking friend. That's why I commented on it.
Unbelievable.
I was trying to get him to come on the show to talk about the shit, but
that would have been great. I would have let him hear his perspective on it because that's unbelievable, Matt. Try to get your take on that. Man, this has been a great show here on this fine Friday. Matt, before we get out of here, I wanted to show Lamar Jackson's acting debut, Matt. Lamar Jackson debuted on, those who know the show Power on Stars here, Matt. Lamar debuted as a hitman. He goes and takes somebody out, and then he has a scene with the rapper. I don't know if you know Joey Badass, but I'm a big fan of this show, Matt, and I thought it was pretty cool, kind of ironic here, Matt. Take a look.
Last I heard, 5-0 don't know shit. Wasn't nothing. You a big old buck, huh? Fuck they feeding y'all New Jersey niggas. New York niggas.
So Lamar plays a hitman, so to speak, in Power. Here's another scene, kind of how they introduced him. They got some guy going to the bathroom here, and then you'll see in a sec, Lamar make his appearance here. Comes out the bathroom there, you see, and yeah, there you have it, and it goes down, Matt. What are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson's acting debut, Matt? Any thoughts?
I'm cool with it, dog. Fuck, some gangster shit. I mean, I think that show is kind of like a mix between like The Sopranos and like a soap opera.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's definitely a drama. Yeah, it's definitely
like it is. It is. There's some weird shit going on, and that's cool. But it good show, I guess. I don't really watch that much, but hey, man, if Lamar's getting into the acting game too, then cool. But yeah, shit. I mean, first of all, he needs to put a glove on because he's gonna get fucking residue on his hand after he fires the gun. So that all hitmen wear latex gloves. Hitmen don't go barehanded.
True. Yes.
So that's number one. After that, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, anything to get you going post-career.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And, I watched this show. I'm more of a fan of the original Power. I thought that was probably one of the greatest shows ever, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. But seeing Lamar on this show, I enjoyed it. And it kind of cracked me up here seeing his acting debut. I didn't expect – I heard, news that Lamar would be in the show here. I did not expect him to be a hitman. But fitting for, the show Power. Folks, if you're a fan, let us know in the chat here. Matt, this is something I have to address before we get out of here. Some stupid shit with Twitter here. Someone tagged me on Twitter posting JB saying Coach Prime, biggest hater, a lame-ass JUCO coach, and then they tagged me saying, tell your dad he's a bitch. Just because he says something you don't agree with doesn't make him a hater. And I don't know, you can miss me that bitch comment and the dad comment.
You might be a little bit of a hater.
JB, I have done several shows with JB. I was live with him on draft day, and he'll say some comments because let's be real, he was probably one of the only people that said Shadour is going to fall. Now, There are some things
He
that he
didn't say
says where you just
he didn't
go
say Chicago's falling to the
goes
fifth
way
round.
in left field where I'm like, yeah, JB, this is why they call you a hater. I get it. But the more you guys poke at him, the more he's going to say some shit like that. But you know damn well when he's breaking down quarterback play and football, he keeps it real.
He's kind of like his MO is hating, though. He is kind of a hater.
Yeah,
and that's cool. Like, he's the king of haters, so that's not necessarily the worst thing.
Yeah, well, I don't really agree with it. People coming at me and grouping me with him, I work for him. If you have ever watched me and JB talk about anything Colorado, we just go back and forth. So I don't know why I get grouped in this shit. I'm just Giovanni. What the fuck are you talking about, homie? Like, miss me with that. I don't agree. Yeah, JB says some stuff that's a hater, but man, miss me with that. Matt, I'm not like it's so stupid. He was like, people don't want to be real, bro. That's what it is. What? I don't understand what the problem is.
The people in the chat are fucking ruthless. That's all.
They can cry about it all they want. Matt, it's been a great show here on this beautiful Friday. We'll be live on Monday to get your reactions to whether your Nuggets win or your Nuggets go to Cancun, so to speak. And yeah, this is after the game said it best. That's all I'm gonna say. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here on this beautiful Friday?
No, man. Enjoy your Friday. See everybody on Monday.
We'll see you guys on Monday. Hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family, folks. It's been a great show here on this beautiful Friday. Stay tuned because there's gonna be some Buff news coming up this weekend. And great show, Matt. See you guys on Monday. Peace.